Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over...
Did you call 811 to protect your underground utilities?
I can't wait to see these roses come up.
Dig, dig, dig! Wait, we forgot to call 811.
Before you dig, make sure you can. Call 811 to know what's below. It's up to all of us to protect the ones we love.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
Watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.
Well, good evening and welcome back to the Ghostfire Media Network. It's Randy Pepper alongside Nick Adams tonight here for the Sim500 Transervice race at Kansas Motor Speedway. We've got a barn burner for you tonight, don't we, Nick?
We do. I thought Randy was dead, though. I didn't know he was still here. I haven't seen him in almost a month.
You know, things happen. I had the vacation on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and unfortunately, the last day, it wasn't actually the last day, it was the day that I was getting off the ship. I wasn't feeling all that good. I felt a little tingle in my throat, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. I had a little cough. And the next day, I decided I'm just going to test and make sure I don't have that COVID crap. And sure enough, COVID had hit the home of Randy Pepper, and I spent isolation days in COVID nightmare. And then we had last week off, so yeah, we've had a couple weeks off without me. And I'm glad to be back. But unfortunately, folks, if you like me that you're happy that I'm back, I will be here next week because I will be in Charlotte, North Carolina with the Pit Road Pickers, Pat Patterson, the racing guy. Jimmy Fallon will also be out there. Reed Spencer, you've probably heard Lee Spencer, his wife, on Sirius NASCAR Radio. And we'll all be at 3 different places in Charlotte, North Carolina. Mike Micaiah's will be out there Thursday night. Tuesday night we'll be at the Hilton Garden Inn and the Beer Fag.
You know, I didn't give you airtime for you to shamelessly self-promote like D-Generation X in the mid-2000s, okay?
I have to.
Okay.
El Bandito will be sponsoring everything.
Shamelessly self-promote later in the broadcast. This time belongs to Transervice.
I know, but I had to do this. I had to do this. I want our fans to come out and see us. We've got a lot of people that are in the Charlotte, North Carolina area that will be racing on next Wednesday night here in the Transervice Truck Series race here in the Sim500. I want them to come see the Pit Road Pickers. So anyways, Nick, how has it been going without me?
Are you sure you're done? 100%?
Well, can I tell you about the dog that was
for
stealing?
Christ's sakes. No, you can just shut up. Shut up, goddammit.
Hey, you're not supposed to say that on the air.
I don't care. We're not an FCC broadcast. I'm not going to get fined.
Oh, I know. Hey.
I'm not Fox. Listen. If Fox can say, never mind.
Yeah,
never
whatever.
Mind.
Yeah,
never mind.
Exactly.
We're not going down. We're not going down that path.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it's been going great. We've had some really amazing races. I mean, we had Hamish Gallagher pick up his first win at Texas in probably the greatest finish I've ever personally seen here on Ghost Fire Media. And then last week we had Daniel Faulkingham. He was able to hold it off and win at Darlington in a very interesting Darlington race and a great finish there for second and third. But tonight we're at Kansas, and Kansas Speedway in the past has been criticized in droves for the way it drives. Fans haven't liked the way that it's given out performances, and they haven't particularly liked the racing they have here. Well, what we're seeing in practice is
anything but not exciting. I mean, it's exciting as heck.
What we're seeing here in practice is if this is indicative of what our race is going to be like here for the next probably hour and a half. I'm excited. I usually don't like coming to Kansas because I can't stand how boring this racetrack gets when these cars start getting single file and they get spread out. But dang, it's a drafter's paradise, and I mean that's also part of this new aerodynamics package. I know we've talked about it for the last 6 weeks. You've heard them talk about it on Fox with the Truck Series, but it really is true. This is indicative of what NASCAR wanted with this new aero package on these trucks. The new F-150 was introduced not just because the F-150 got a facelift, but also to get more aerodynamics involved in what we have here. That the new Toyota Tundra was introduced not only because the Tundra got a facelift and they went to a new generation, but also Jesus. Okay. The Tide Ride just came across, took out Daniel Faulkingham, but he's got to be fucking pissed. Anyhow.
Imagine him growing up.
God, it would have been a fucking nightmare. Anyway.
You're full of them tonight.
Anyway, dad puns aside. It's indicative of what NASCAR wanted with these new ones. You know, they didn't just introduce the new Tundra because they got a facelift. They introduced the new Tundra with the scoops on the side and the new vents on the hood. Because they wanted better racing. They did the same thing with the Silverado. Yeah, it got a facelift. All 3 trucks are in new generations now in their production phases, but they're also more aerodynamic. And it creates this, I don't want to say almost required draft effect at most of these 1.5 miles, but we saw it at Vegas, which historically wasn't a very big drafting racetrack. There was a lot of drafting. We saw it at Atlanta, which we don't have new Atlanta yet.
No.
And classic Atlanta wasn't a big drafting track for the trucks. New Atlanta would be for any of the cars, but old Atlanta wasn't. But it was. And we saw it last week at Darlington. The draft was in a big effect at Darlington of all racetracks. So we saw how tight the pack was at Daytona. We've seen just how tight the pack was at Vegas, at Texas, at Atlanta. So if it's indicative of what we've seen at the rest of the mile and a half this year so far, it's going to be a huge night of drafting. It's going to be really important to be, probably second or third in the draft throughout most of the final run, because we've seen a lot of these mile and a half tracks come down to fuel mileage. So, but I think it's going to reinvigorate the racing at Kansas, maybe save this racetrack. But I know I'm excited for what we're going to see tonight.
I think it's going to be a good race. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good race. We talked about the trucks and stuff, and like the NASCAR trucks and stuff. We have the Nice Motorsports car trucks of Carson Harvicker. I can't even say the guy's name. You know who I'm talking about? He's almost won a bunch of races this year.
Nice lap there by Mike Kelly, a 31.29. That's not going to be good enough for pole.
Hey.
But it's a nice lap, but he put out there anyway. Mike Montesi with a 32.11 there. Most likely, if he can improve by about a second, he's going to start near the back, if not at the back. We'll take a look at the 33 of Ryan Howard here in his first lap as he comes down the backstretch. Keep an eye on the guys that we really believe are going to be, contenders to go take the pole. Bentley Glazier in second with a 31.34. Now he gets dropped down to third by Mick Marsk. Right here, Ryan Howard, one of those guys. He's one of the guys that I continue to watch each week, and I continue to see him get better and better and better. A 31.6 going to put him 12th fastest. Trey Eidson, a 31.7, 15th fastest. Kevin DeBrown, 34.01. Obviously had major problems on his first lap. Going to try to improve on that second lap. We'll see if Ryan Howard can improve. It doesn't look like Hamish Gallagher has gone on the track yet. It doesn't look like Daniel Faulkingham has left the pits either. Just
look at Mike Montesi, though.
Mike Montesi, a 31.3, puts himself in second. Huge improvement. Trey Eidson right to the pole. 31.2. Kevin Brown, 31.26. That's not a surprise. Actually, what I'm about to say is going to sound less intelligent than I want it to, but sometimes that's what comes out of my mouth is less intelligent things than I mean. Trey is probably... Wow, look at that. Look at John Adams putting himself in second. He's been consistent, Randy. You haven't been here. But John Adams is sitting second right now, 31.26. He has consistently been fast since he's shown up here. So I'm excited to see what he can do. But if we look at Trey Eidson, it's not going to be indicative of it in the series standings because he is still second to Daniel Faulkingham by just 27 points.
Look at Fuller jumped up to the
Justin
top
Fuller.
And Dalton as well.
Justin Fuller and Tyler Dalton. Two guys to Tyler Dalton. Going to keep an eye on him. We know he's quick. Brian Macklin in 6th, DJ O'Rourke in 7th. But being quick for Tyler Dalton has never been a problem.
No.
Not roasting his tires has always been a problem for him so far as we've watched. Now, I'm going to try to pronounce this name correctly. I think it's Pedro Mojica. We're going to keep an eye on him in the number 58. He was really quick in practice. We'll see what he can do here in qualifying. Right around the white line on the exit of 4. He should be the last driver to complete a lap here in qualifying. He's going to go from dead last on the grid to 5th, a 31.25. When we show you these pole and these times here, you'll really be able to see how close everybody is. But the pole's going to go to Justin Fuller. Justin Fuller is going to get his first pole of the year. It's going to change up a couple of the things. But what I wanted to say really quickly is that Trey Eidson this year has not had the most consistent qualifying. Like, he hasn't been the best. He started 1st at Daytona, 7th in Vegas, 8th at Atlanta, 24th at Texas, and 4th at Darlington. So he's been very inconsistent in qualifying. He's been up and down all around the board. He's consistent where he finishes, though. 1st, 12th, 1st, 5th, and 2nd in the order of the races we've had so far this year. So you can't count Trey out, and that's not what I'm saying. But for him to be where he is right now, going to be starting tonight, is impressive for him compared to what he's been most of the year.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but look where we got Faulkingham.
He did not lay down a lap in qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see I'm just checking to make sure he is here. He is in there with his team. So we'll keep an eye on him. Thinking maybe he just had maybe some technical difficulties or just didn't want to qualify tonight. But
I can't see that. There must have been something going on. I just can't see him. He's not the kind of guy that likes to have to work his way through traffic.
But we were talking about consistency, right?
Yes.
I've talked about consistency a ton, and a guy who doesn't have to win to point himself into the playoffs is Mike Kelly. That is a man who is consistent. He's been consistent
Absolutely.
Since we started here. So this season so far, he's finished 4th, 5th, 6th, and 29th last week after an incident. But when he's not in an incident, which has only happened once, he's in the top 5. He's impressive. He's impressive.
He's probably the most consistent driver we have.
I would argue you are correct. But speaking of consistency, and let's look at these qualifying times. I mean, it's a 10th of a second between the top 14 drivers. That's insane. Justin Fuller is going to get his first pole of the year. Tyler Dalton will start second. Trey Eidson in third. Back in fourth going to be John Adams. In fifth, Pedro Mojica. Sixth going to be Kevin DeBrown. Excuse me. Seventh going to be Chad Coleman. Eighth, Brian Macklin. Ninth, E.J. O'Rourke. 10th is going to be Mike Kelly. And 11th, Jose Gonzalez. 12th, Ryan Howard. 13th, Mike Montesi. 14th, Richard Swaverly. 15th, Glenn Campbell. 16th, Mike Marsk. 17th, Bentley Glazier. 18th, Derek Myers. 19th, Jeff Ryan. 20th, Doy Woods. 21st, going to be Scott Simley. 22nd, going to be Richard Beasley. Back in 23rd tonight, Ron Holyfield starts from that position. And 24th, Charles Woods. 25th, going to be Doug Roth. 26th, Mark Fravert. 27th, James Sombach. 28th, Stoney Benfield. 29th, Daniel Faulkingham. 30th, Josh Parker. 31st, Hamish Gallagher. 32nd, Joey Katina. 33rd, Doug Sigmund. Rounding out the field. And 34th tonight, going to be Gerald Livingston. Daniel Faulkingham through Gerald Livingston did not set qualifying laps, so they were placed on the grid based on their practice times. So we'll keep an eye on that. But the Chevy Silverado pace truck here at the Kansas Speedway pulls off out of turn 4. The flagman gets ready, and Randy Pepper. We were off for a week. We went to the Lady in Black, and now we're here in Kansas. And we are racing here at Kansas Speedway.
Green flag is out for the first time tonight at Kansas Motor Speedway. As the field makes her way down into turn number 1, Fuller pulls the truck to the bottom of the track, trying to hold off the back of the pack behind him. Everybody looking for a move to make around. They're already looking to the inside of Fuller as he's going to lead him down the back straightaway into turn number 3. And here they go, single file for the top 3 off of turn number 3, and down to the stripe they're going to go with Fuller. And he's going to lead the first lap. At least it looks that way. Yes, he will.
Justin Fuller will lead the first lap here at Kansas Speedway, but behind him it's a hornet's nest. Pedro Mojica up from 5th to 2nd. Trey Eidson stays in 3rd. Kevin DeBrown up to 4th from 6th. Tyler Dalton and John Adams both falling back there. Pedro Mojica has now put the pressure on Justin Fuller down the backstretch. Off into turn 3, the 58.
Goes down.
And the caution is out. Mike Kelly is around. Mike Kelly is around. And this Mike Kelly down the backstretch has spun it around down to the inside of the racetrack. Going to be a single car incident, I believe. And it'll be just Mike Kelly here as we cross the start-finish line. Justin Fuller here is going to keep the lead here. Let's see if we can see what happened to Mike Kelly here in the middle of turn 2. They were 3 wide here, and he's just going to get a little bit of contact with Brian Macklin and him in the 6. Big contact to the inside wall for the 2 and the 6. Massive contact. 2-car incident. But I'll tell you what, Mike Kelly and Mike Montesi, they're just completely innocent bystanders in that. Oh, this is going to hurt. Oh, that one hurts. Instant engine blow, too, for Mike Montesi. We'll go on board Mike Kelly here. Exit of turn 2 as he's right there. He knows he has a car to his inside. He's got Brian Macklin right there. Gets a little loose. He gets into him, and he has nowhere to go here. And he's going to pound the inside wall with the left side. And I'm going to guess that's going to be the end of the night for both of those drivers. Unfortunate way to start the evening. We had just talked about how consistent Mike Kelly had been all season. Now he's out of the race here, just 1 lap in, going to end up finishing 33rd this evening. It's going to
And,
hurt him in the
you talked
points.
you talked about how consistent he actually has been. But last week he finished 29th, and this week he's going to finish
It's going to
30th.
hurt him in the points.
So now his new consistency could be on the back end of the field.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a worry. I mean, we're still a ways away from the playoffs. We're only in race number 6, but the playoffs start in just 12 races. So in 12 races, a lot can happen. In 6 races, he has gotten himself a buffer between 16th of just under 100 points. It doesn't take that much longer for him to lose that buffer. A couple of bad races. I mean, tonight he could lose if Joey Gattina has a good night and Hamish Gallagher has a good night and his teammate Scott Simley has a good night. He could go from 100 points ahead to, well, he's not 100 points ahead. He's only, hold on, 191, might be 81. He's 82 points ahead of 16th right now. 85 points ahead of 17th. You get, let's see, the race winner gets a base of 44 points. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm wrong. Hold on. No, it is 44. No, it's 43. The race winner gets 43.
You're close either way.
Plus the mid-race bonus points, plus bonus points for leading laps and all that other stuff. But the maximum point swing in this league is 58 points. At Las Vegas, Daniel Faulkingham got 58 points. Trey Eidson got 57 at Daytona. The max point swing here is 58 points for a win and getting bonus points for leading at halfway and leading the most laps and all that other stuff. So something like that can really change your season. And I know it's early. Like we said, we're only 6 races in, but we are only 12 races away from the playoffs. So at the same time of saying playoffs, it's a little too early, at the same time it's not.
Yeah, every point matters.
It does.
At this
and
point.
The pace truck is going to bow off of the racetrack. The race is now in Justin Fuller's control. He's going to get going, and that Ford F-150 is going to lead him back green here at Kansas Speedway.
Justin Fuller pulls out to a 1-2 car length lead over Trey Addison. Addison pulls in right behind him. They'll go down off of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Here they go, single file for the top 5 trucks right now. Addison looks to the inside. He'll look to the outside. And right behind him, you got that 58 of Pedro Mojica. Mojica's right behind that number 7. Got a trunk full of that 59 as they make their way across the line.
3 wide across the start-finish line for 4th. Right behind him, Kevin DeBrown went all the way down below the white line. He almost got turned there by the 19 of Tyler Dalton as he made a move. But man, oh man, Randy, Pedro Mojica did not get a good restart. He went from 2nd to 3rd, and he really held up that inside line, but now he's getting that momentum. He's got that draft, and Trey Eidson got held up by Justin Fuller on the exit of 2, and Pedro Mojica's going to throw himself down in there. Now, Eidson's going to get down behind Mojica quickly here, because as we've said, the draft is going to be huge, and once you start to lose a little bit of that momentum here at Kansas now, you're going to go backwards. He doesn't want to be the one stuck on the outside lane. Justin Fuller almost opens the door for Mojica as we go through 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Justin Fuller, big loose there. He really held up that inside line.
Doesn't want to do that. Fuller wants to try to keep the momentum going. As long as he can keep the momentum,
up the track
like that, he's going to lose that position to the Mojica. Mojica dives to the bottom of the track in the 58, so they're side by side as they go across the line. Down to turn number 1, Mojica down low, Eidson up high, and it's 2x2 for the front 5 trucks, actually 6 trucks, and it's almost 3 wide back there as well.
Yeah,
wow.
It is a hornet's nest at the front of this pack right now. Justin Fuller hasn't been out front much this season at these 1.5 mile tracks, so he's learning on the fly right now. He's learning on the fly right now of what he can and what he can't do at the front of the pack. So what I think is the way he was doing it, he was running the front of the pack, the lead, like a super speedway. He was trying to control both lines, and that's not what you want to do at these 1.5 miles. Yes, it might get packed up behind you, but you want to stay on that inside line as much as you can. You don't want to care about that outside line's momentum, because no matter what, at the end of the day, the quickest way around these 1.5 miles is always going to be that inside lane, because that outside lane is going to go and it's going to get staggered out throughout the corners. You're going to have 2 or 3 different lines for that outside lane, but that inside lane is always going to stay single file along that white line, because nobody's going to want to slide up and get into the guy on the outside. So as long as you're in the lead, as long as you keep that white line as your best friend, it's going to be almost impossible to get past, because you're going to have to force them to go to the outside, and it's going to be pretty hard to do that.
You have to remember, if you're out front, you've got clean air. You're the only one that has clean air. So you can dictate what race you're going to run. So if you just run your race, they have to work their way around you. So
yeah, we saw
like
it.
You said, keep that
bunch.
bottom line.
Yeah, we saw it a bunch in the Cup Series a couple weeks ago. With a leader is always going to have the advantage with these current air package rules. It's just going to happen. It doesn't matter how quick you are or how slow you are. If you are the leader, you have the advantage, because the guy behind you, and especially in these trucks, the second you pull out of that draft, these things just die. They don't have enough power to really pull themselves in the air compared to what they do in the draft. And when they're in the draft, they have a huge advantage over the other guy, but as soon as they pull out, you just die. You bog straight down.
Yeah, totally. You're totally relying on the guy in front of you to pull you around this track. And if you lose that, you don't have much. That's for sure. As Fuller still trying to make his way around that 58, but we got a good battle back there with the 19.
Yeah, this is for 10th
32,
position right now.
Howard back there.
We have Ryan Howard and Jose Gonzalez battling for 10th right here in the middle of your screen. And man, oh man, Randy, there are some intense battles all throughout this field right now. What we're seeing is like what we said about that inside lane. Right now, the inside lane is king. But as the tires start to go away and it's not full throttle around this racetrack, classic Kansas, just like classic Atlanta and classic Texas came out, where the guy who can save his tires the most and then run that outside line against the wall, later in the run is going to be the faster driver. But right now, that inside lane is going to continue to be king, just because it's just flat out around this entire racetrack.
We're used to seeing Tyler Dalton be usually up in the top 3, maybe 5. He's running a little farther back right now. And I'm wondering, since he's running 8th right now, is he conserving his tires? Because we know he's always dead fast. Is he going to be able to conserve those tires tonight and make his move for the first time this season, actually maybe win one of these races?
I think maybe we've spoken to Tyler in the past about that when he's finished in the top 3, and he said that he knows his Achilles heel is saving tires. So maybe he came into tonight going, yeah, I qualified second. But he immediately fell back 3 or 4 spots, and now he's found his home in 8th. He's not slower than the guys behind him. He's faster than the guys ahead of him, but he's not using that to his advantage right now. He's just kind of biding his time. He's not doing what Pedro Mojica is doing. He's not doing what Justin Fuller's doing. He's not pushing each other. He's just sitting there, biding his time, saving his tires, working, and letting the race come to him. And I think that's
so he
something
might have figured it out finally.
Yeah, I think that's something that he's personally said that he needed to work on. I think maybe tonight he's finally allowing, instead of making the race like him going to the race, he's letting the race come to him. He's racing the racetrack and not the people around him.
Right, and I
that's
hope
what makes
that
Faulkingham so good, is he races the racetrack, not the other people around him. We saw it at Darlington. He let people go past him. We've seen it at Texas, at Las Vegas when he won, he let people go past him. He does not care about leading every single lap. There's only one lap matters at the end of the day. Unless it's the championship and you're fighting for every point you need, the only the only position and time to lead matters right now at lap 120 when the race is ended. We've had a change for the lead while we were talking there. Pedro Mojica has been passed by Justin Fuller as Justin now goes out to the lead, and he puts a quick 0.2 of a second gap on Pedro Mojica. Again, that might not be the best decision. Justin is running that white line. It's something that we're not seeing a lot of the guys do here now 18 laps in. A lot of them have started to migrate up to that second and or third lane. saving tires while Justin continues to drive on that white line. He's putting some time between him and the rest of the field. But
definitely
he's
is doing
not
that. He's
saving.
got that clean air.
He's not saving at the same time, though. Let's see what he runs this time by. He ran a 32.47 to a 32.59 of Pedro Mojica. So he's putting about a 10.5 on him every lap. But he's also not saving tires.
Right. And we're 20 laps in. A pit stop should probably be in the 40.
I'd say 50, 50,
45,
55.
50.
It
Yeah.
seems like
Yeah.
the fuel settings for this league allow them to go about halfway. I think it's about 50, 55. They might be able to push to 60. If you lead a lot of the race, I don't know if you're going to be able to do that, but these guys in the middle of the pack that are really able to go like 3/4 half throttle, I think you're going to be able to do it. Speaking of half throttle, 3/4 throttle, let's go on board EJ O'Rourke, who's sitting in 8th right now, and see how it feels to go around. We'll sit on this this in-car camera here and watch his hands. So you hear how far he's off the throttle, and you see how much movement is in that wheel. And he's not trying to pass John Adams. He's just trying to sit behind him and draft, save as much fuel. He's not full throttle, I don't think. I think he's only 3/4 throttle. Let's take a look.
Yeah. It doesn't. If you watch the tack, you can see it goes down to about 6.5, or somewhere 6.5 to 7,000. When he gets going down the back straightaway, he gets a little run on the truck in front of him, and then he'll back it back down. He's usually no farther than 6,500. So I don't think he's not really having to work very hard.
Yeah, he's really only getting up to about 7,000 on the tack, and full throttle at this track is probably around 73, 7,400 RPM. So he's definitely not using everything he has to his advantage right now. And again, that's early in the race. He's saving fuel. He's making the smart decisions. Randy, me and you talked about it before the race. We don't know how many cautions we're going to get here tonight, so you got to be smart.
Yeah, and we did talk about cautions earlier on, and we were saying that probably wouldn't be a lot of cautions just because of the talent in this league.
None. I thought that.
I said none. I really
two.
thought we'd be none.
We're right in the middle
we had one.
We're right in the middle between where we both said. There's the only time I don't even see us getting a plethora of cautions at a short track with these guys. These guys are just so talented. They're very patient. That's another thing that this league teaches a lot of drivers that are in it: patience. And
how many did they have at Darlington?
Give me 2 seconds. It wasn't a lot. It really wasn't a lot. We had at Darlington Raceway. Let me look at the official results. 4 cautions at Darlington.
And that's actually a lot for this league.
That's a lot for this league. Now, let's compare that to another league we broadcast here on the Ghost Fire Media Network, because I know they just went to Darlington this past weekend. Or last weekend, sorry, not this past weekend. And they had, in 120 laps, they had 5 cautions. And they were in the Cup cars. So they had more laps, 1 more caution. It wasn't much different. But there's definitely been other races at Darlington where we know that some other leagues have had. I've been in leagues that have had 12 or 13 cautions at Darlington.
I was going to say that was kind of what some of the average I've been in some of these races, and it's just caution after caution after caution after caution.
I ran the official for Darlington, and I know that there was 17 cautions in our official, and it was only half distance. So,
wow, that's crazy.
But folks. Do you know what 27 laps of green flag action does to me and Randy Pepper?
Makes us hungry.
It makes us hungry, and it makes our throats hurt. So while we go get drinks, and Randy goes and gets like a hot dog or something because he loves wieners, we'll be right back here.
No.
We'll be right back here on the Ghost Fire Media Network.
Hey.
If recent storms have caused damage to your property, contact 811 before you begin your cleanup. Buried utilities around uprooted trees can make a bad situation worse if those lines are not located before digging. Electric, natural gas, and internet lines are everywhere, and knowing where they are is the safest way to start any digging project. Call North Carolina 811 by dialing 811 or by using single address ticket on nc811.org or the NC811 app.
Transervice has been a leader in the transportation and fleet maintenance industry for over 50 years. If you're a professional driver or technician looking for opportunities to be the best and work with the best, then we want you working at Transervice. Our current workforce includes over 1,000 drivers and technicians, managing over 24,000 pieces of equipment in over 120 regional and local facilities across North America and Puerto Rico, and we're getting larger all the time. Our corporate philosophy of trust, respect, and honesty has led to employees that have spent their entire career with Transervice. As with our employees, we have many customer relationships exceeding 20 years. You'll have the opportunity to learn and grow professionally in an environment that values and rewards excellence, with a variety of perks such as education support, recognition awards, career advancement opportunities, and more. A great work-life balance, a company built on values, recognition, and rewards for excellence. While our competitors offer jobs, Transervice offers you a career, not just a job. Contact us today.
Kansas Motor Speedway, the Sim500 Transervice 120. Randy Pepper alongside Nick Adams for Ghostfire Media. And we are watching a great race here as Fuller is running away with Mojica, Eidson, and Kevin DeBrown now. In that 93 is starting to make some rumbles in that rainbow-colored truck, bringing the colors around the track here in Kansas. What do you think, Nick?
Sorry, I had technical difficulties there. Derek Myers in fifth, right behind him. He rounds up the top five. We're going to go through the field really quick for you since not a lot is happening on the racetrack at the moment. We'll keep an eye on it. Back in sixth, you have John Adams sitting here. In seventh, you have E.J. O'Rourke. In eighth, you're going to have Jose Gonzalez. In ninth, it's going to be Ryan Howard. 10th, going to be Chad Coleman in that beautiful, absolutely beautiful Toyota Tundra. Back in 11th now, Brian Macklin in the number 30. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. There we go. Boom. Tyler Dalton in the Sim500 Chevy Silverado in 12th. Glenn Campbell in 13th in the Transervice truck. Haha, you see that? Transervice truck. In 14th, you got Bentley Glazier in the Gatorade Chevy. Daniel Faulkingham in 15th in the January 31st machine. Let's take a second to think and talk about Daniel Faulkingham, okay? He started in 29th. In 37 laps, he's got from 29th to 15th. And you do the math, that's about one spot every 2 laps. I don't think he's going to have enough time if we go green from here to the end of the race to get up near the front.
You do.
But the dude he's impressive. He is a mover and shaker. But you can't forget about Josh Parker behind him. Josh Parker showed the same fortitude last week. Right now he's in 16th. He started 30th, one spot behind Daniel Faulkingham. He didn't lay down a lap in qualifying either, and he's brought that Toyota up to 16th, so keep an eye on him. Joy Woods back in 17th in the number 28 machine. Richard Swaverly sitting in 18th in the number 32. What is that? Oh, the Berkeley Ford F-150. Hamish Gallagher from across the, well, not across the pond, but upside down. Hamish Gallagher, he's doing really well while he's racing on the roof tonight. Very impressive. And every time I see his car, I'm going to say it, it reminds me of the X-Side Batteries Ford Taurus Jeff Burton used to drive all way back in the day, and I love that paint scheme. And
yeah, but it's Taylor Swift.
Who cares what it is? He's still, you know what?
My daughter loves Taylor Swift.
All right, we're going to talk about Joey Gattina. Joey Gattina in 19th now. They've all moved up a spot as Kevin DeBrown has come down pit lane. Back in 20th, Richard Beasley in the Tide Ride. God, I love that paint scheme. It just brings me back to the good old days. Back in 21st, going to be Charles Woods. He's making Justin Anderson proud with that United States Postal
delivering
Service
the mail.
machine. Justin, if you're out there watching, he's hauling the mail. He's back in 20th. He started 24th, so that's an impressive move for him right now. Doug Roth in 21st. You know what? Shout out to Richard Petty, the fifth greatest driver of all time. I just upset thousands of people.
I was going to say, what the heck?
I just upset. Do you really want to get into this conversation? Four drivers better than Richard Petty: Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt, Jimmy Johnson. You want the fourth one?
I want the fourth one.
You want me to give you the fourth one?
Yeah.
Kyle Busch.
Really?
Sorry. I'm not a huge Kyle Busch fan. 4 drivers that I can name off. Cale Yarborough, 5. Let's see. David Pearson's better in my opinion. Richard got lucky because he had the equipment, the money, and the backing, and he went to every race, and his competitors went to half the races in the 60s and 70s. In the 80s, he earned the championship. Did he get 2 or 1? I think he got 1 in the 80s. He earned the last 3. The last 3 he had to fight for. The first 4 pretty much given to him. Sorry. It's my opinion. Dale Earnhardt had to earn all 7. Jimmy Johnson had to go through 3 different types of point systems to win 7 championships.
So was Jimmy Johnson the greatest of all time?
Don't make me choose that.
I'm just asking. You said he had to go through several different point systems. So you kind of said it there. He's the only one that had to do all the different point systems.
I know Jeff
Earnhardt had the same thing.
I know Jeff only won 4 titles, but I feel the way Jeff did his 4 and the resurgence at the end of his career, where he showed he was as good at 44 that he was at 24.
I don't know about that.
He was. His final race of his career, he was battling for a championship. They just didn't give him a car.
Yeah,
they gave him a crap car in his last race at Homestead. They could have won him a championship. Oh, it's Phoenix.
Agree.
It's Phoenix. His last race was Phoenix. But they gave him a crap car at Phoenix. They gave the better car to Dale. I don't want to talk about it. I love Dale Jr. to death, but Dale shouldn't have got a better car than Jeff that weekend. The 24 should have been the 88 wrapped in a different color. But whatever. But you give it 5 years, and we'll be talking about 2 other drivers in that conversation, and maybe all 4 drivers that race for Rick Hendrick right now. We could be talking about all 4 of them. We're still going to be talking about Kyle Busch.
I think we're going to be years from now. We're going to be talking about Kyle Larson as well.
Well, it's like I think we're going to be talking about all 4 guys that race for Hendrick Motorsports right now. You got Jeff Gordon in there, who arguably you could argue is still the greatest of all time. No matter how many championships he's won, it's what he did at the beginning. In the middle, he might not have won titles, but in the middle, he was competing for championships that nobody thought he would be. And then at the end, with a bad back, what we found out later was a bad knee and a bad ankle, and a so-so crew chief, he was battling for a championship. Because Alan Gustafson, when Jeff Gordon was racing for that championship, was not the Alan Gustafson that he is now. Just wasn't. He wasn't the same dude.
No, he was
Jeff
still
Gordon
learning.
made him into what he is by helping him learn. But if it wasn't for Chase and I think that it's just that the combinations, they just work. Like Greg Ives and Dale Jr., that one worked. Steve Letarte and Dale Jr., that one worked. Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson, you can argue you could argue that without Chad, Jimmy would have never been what he became. Because when we changed crew chiefs for Jimmy, now that man has gone on to win championships. But when we changed crew chiefs with Jimmy, he still wasn't the same.
Well, that's you can say the same thing with Jeff Gordon without
I think he was
Ray
better.
Evernham when he got Robbie Loomis.
I think he was better without Ray Evernham, though.
I don't think so.
Well, no, I'm not saying Robbie Loomis, but I'm saying when they gave him Steve Letarte.
Well, Steve Letarte.
And then when they went from Steve Letarte to who the hell was his last crew chief?
I don't even remember.
Alan Gustafson was his last crew chief.
Oh, it was Alan Gustafson.
Yeah, it was Alan. Well, who was his crew chief when he drove the 88? I think it was Greg Ives. But that was like 6 races. And here comes Justin Fuller. We've been waiting for him to pit. He had a 3-second.
48.
He comes in. So 48. Oh, Trey Eidson misses it. Trey Eidson just missed
the
pit
commitment cone.
He missed the commitment cone. That's a 30-second penalty for Trey Eidson. Plus, he was speeding on the entrance of pit lane. The championship, well, not championship leader, but the driver who's second in the championship right now, who had an opportunity to take a big chunk out of Daniel Faulkingham here tonight, just shot himself in the foot. Absolutely just shot himself in the foot. That's crazy. Trey Eidson's going to be sitting there for a minute and a half almost. Oh, that's unfortunate for the number 7. That is extremely unfortunate. He's going to lose 2 laps, I betcha. Oh, that is unfortunate for the 7. He just got in there too hot. He got loose when he went from the. So this is the thing, right?
I think it was he wasn't expecting Fuller to pit.
Well, I don't think just that, but green flag pit stops, as me and you both know, are difficult. They're not easy. They're very difficult, especially when you've been racing on the racetrack for the last 50 laps under green. And you have to remember, in turn 4 this time, I got to get on the brakes, get off of the banking to the flat, which is going to upset the truck. As I'm turning, so it's going to upset the truck even more, because it's not like it's Daytona or Talladega where you're exiting the corner, or the Brickyard where you're exiting the corner, you're already straight, then you're getting off the banking and then turning into pit road. It's the turn off the banking as you're entering through the commitment cone. It's a tough entry here at Kansas. People don't give this one enough credit. This is a tough one.
Yeah. You know what I want to see is Daniel Faulkingham. Did he pit already?
He did. He's currently in 9th.
Okay, so I just wanted to see how quick he got down pit road, because we know
he pit
his
on
pit
lap
stops
45.
are insane.
He had. Who is his pit crew? Holy crap! He's got a Joe Gibbs pit crew on that machine. He had a 12.82 second pit stop.
Yeah, it's like that's why I said I wanted to see what he did, because we've seen him time after time. His pit stops are just insane.
I need to hire Kevin DeBrown's pit crew. There's no way he's got Jack Roush's guys pitting that truck. Kevin DeBrown had an 11.62 second pit stop.
Wow.
4 tires and fuel, 11.62 seconds.
Wow.
Is he running 1 lug nut? How? Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, he got the 1 lug nut. He's got
nuts.
the new gen.
That's
truck.
absolutely insane. 11.62 seconds. A sub 12 second pit stop in NASCAR, almost completely unheard of. Not impossible, but there's only a few teams that can do that. I mean, when you look at NASCAR, like actual NASCAR, when you say sub 12 second pit stop, HMS is like the epitome of greatness right now in NASCAR, but you don't see it sub 12 second pit stop from them. You see it from Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, Joe
like that.
Gibson,
You think
awesome.
like Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin's pit crews when you think sub 12 seconds.
Yep.
It's insane. That is so quick. There's a reason that people say that NASCAR is probably the ultimate team sport, because it's like football is it's a massive team sport. Football, hockey, basketball, soccer, all those are massive team sports. But I think anything motor racing, you have to have so much trust in your guys. Like, so much trust in your guys. Because, like, you look at Justin Fuller, right? He was leading.
Yeah.
He's in 8th now.
Yeah,
Because he
Faulkingham
had a
just passed him.
16-second pit stop.
Yep. Wow. Remember that thing I said? I bet you Faulkingham is going to be there.
I don't think he's
by the
going
end
to
of
be
this race?
because his tires are older, like a wee bit older, a few laps, and that's a big thing here at this track. Kansas is tough on tires. I think Justin Fuller, you're seeing it now, is just going to fly by him. But Faulkingham's going to minimize the damage here tonight if we go green the entire race. And if he has another 12-second pit stop, all bets are off. This dude could win the race if he has another 12.5-second pit stop.
Absolutely.
But
Trey Eidson, by the way, is 1 lap.
I bet you he's almost 2. Let's see where he is in the track. He's almost 2 laps down.
Wow. That is a tough break for him.
That's upsetting. That's upsetting.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, man. I mean that's got he's got to be. He had to be pounding.
Yeah.
He was pounding the steering wheel the whole way down pit road.
I mean, I know what I did when I did that in front of my entire team at Daytona. In AOL one time, I let everybody right off the edge, like 7 trucks right off into the freaking grass because I just misjudged it. I broke my hand, so I can only imagine what he did.
Gosh.
We got a battle for 3rd right now. Justin Fuller, 3 wide off in a 1 and 2. It's an easy pass because he's got 10-lap newer tires, but it's still
took the lead too.
It's still difficult for him, and he's only about a second now back from Pedro Mojica, who's the current leader. E.J. O'Rourke is in 2nd. Josh Parker, 2 weeks in a row. I just have to shout this dude out. Plus 25. He's in 5th right now. He started 30th.
And he was
impressive.
behind Daniel Faulkingham.
He was. He pitted a few laps earlier, so he's going to struggle as the race goes along. His tires are 20 laps old right now, while Justin's are 11. But it's still impressive that he's up in 6th right now after starting 30th. Caution comes out, it resets the whole race anyway.
Yeah.
If a caution comes out right now, I wouldn't put it past Daniel Faulkingham to be able to go win this race. Honestly.
I agree. Absolutely.
But look at this. Justin Fuller pitted 1 lap later than Pedro Mojica, and he just blew by Pedro Mojica like he's standing still. 1 lap difference in tires. That just shows you how much quicker Justin Fuller really is right now. Oh, behind them! Oh my goodness, that was E.J. Was that E.J. O'Rourke? No, who was it? That was
Blue truck Glazer. Was it Bentley Glazer?
It was Bentley. He got big loose out of tune. I mean, you saw him. He was all the way down the racetrack.
Yeah.
Having
Parker
to save it.
10.
Josh Parker took advantage of it. Now John Adams is trying to take advantage of both of it. See what he can do. But Randy.
Yes, sir.
Let's finish. So in a few years' time, I truly believe 5 years down the road, the conversation for greatest of all time is going to include at least 2 guys that are racing for Hendrick Motorsports. At least 2. You already can have the conversation of the best road racers in the history of the sport and talk about Chase Elliott.
Right, and Jeff Gordon.
You can already talk about that. You can say the best road racers in the history of this sport ever. The conversation has to go Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, Kyle Busch, Kyle Larson. No, not sorry, not Kyle Larson. He'll be up there, I think, eventually, but Chase Elliott.
Yeah, Chase Elliott, no doubt.
I'm not going to put Kyle Larson up there at like the greatest of anything at the moment because Kyle has only really been in top-notch equipment for 1 year. We saw what he did in that 1 year. It's the same thing I think everybody said he would do if he ever got that type of equipment. But it still was only 1 year, so I'm not going to sit there and name him the greatest of all time. I mean, Mark Martin almost won 4 or 5 championships, and he had the greatest year of his career inside the number 5 car, but it was 1 year. I'm not going to sit there and go, he's the greatest of all time because of that 1 year. Rusty Wallace won a championship. I'm not going to say he's the greatest of all time. He's good. He's good. Top 20 of all time, maybe? That's a stretch, though, I think. Yeah, he made the deuce into what it was, but
Somebody's in the wall.
Yeah, it's the number 11 John Adams in the wall right there through 1 and 2. That's interesting. He got in there a little too hot, put the right side up against the wall. And John Adams with an uncharacteristic mistake here. 64 laps in, it's going to cost him 2 spots.
Like he's been drinking some Sam Adams.
Hey, listen, yo. It's a good beer. It's a very good beer.
Yeah. I tell you what, you put some upside down pineapples on your car, you might have a different kind of driving going on.
I'm not Hamish Gallagher. I'm not driving around upside down.
No, I'm just saying upside pineapples. Go to look it up, folks, and you'll figure out what I'm talking about.
Hold on, I'm just going to...
Nick is a big upside down pineapple person. Just the same way I love those wieners.
You can, hold on, folks. Sorry, folks. My audio went out there for a second. I have no idea what happened. I feel like Randy Pepper's the only one who can hear what I said to him. That's such weird. Just a weird thing. Sorry, folks. But John Adams now being targeted by Derek Myers off into 3 and 4. Here comes the 23. Is that a Bang Energy car? I think it is.
Damian Guevara?
It is a Bang Energy car.
It is.
I'm just going to focus on that real quick while I drink Star Blast. I will admit.
Be a big fan of Sammy Guevara.
I used to be a huge Monster drinker. And back when Junior got the AMP sponsorship, I switched over to AMP. And then I went to Mountain Dew Kickstart. And I've tried all of them.
Wow.
But when I had always said I would never try Bang Energy because I thought it was the design was stupid and I don't know. It just felt like something that was a generation behind me. Or ahead of, behind me. Kids younger than me would drink. Sounds weird to say. But it really did. And I have, now I live on it. It's delicious.
I can't drink any of that stuff. My days of drinking anything that has any kind of energy, caffeine or anything in it are gone. No Coca-Cola, no nothing.
You want to hear how much caffeine is in this?
Oh, what, a 123, 125?
No, it's it is
245.
No, it's crazy. I couldn't believe there's a lot of it. Hold on.
I gotta know.
It's on the side.
Yeah.
It's on the side of the can. I just gotta find it. 300 milligrams of caffeine.
You know, I was
that's 2 cups of coffee. That's more than 2 cups of coffee.
Dude, I'm just going to tell you right now, and I'll tell anybody listening right now.
Oh, we got car in the wall somewhere. Caution
Somewhere
is
along.
not out, but I heard a car get into the wall there. I think it was the 11. It was the
I'm
11.
sure it was the 11. Yeah,
it was the 11. Look at the back.
Out
Oh man, what happened here? Let's rewind a little.
Shamalama, my ding dong for sure there.
Oh, he might have got some. Did he get some help?
No.
Or he just helped himself into the wall?
He helped himself.
He helped himself.
Yep.
He got some left rear damage though. Where did that come from?
Probably from him slamming that wall a few times.
Where did the left rear damage come from?
That's not his first tango with a wall. Trust
no, but
me.
I didn't see the left rear damage the last time I saw him. Did somebody run through him?
No. He's been hitting the wall. He's just playing slamming him in my ding dong.
Okay.
Yeah, see there?
Okay, it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But anyways, what I was saying, if you're drinking that much caffeine, I spent 7 days in the hospital and my heart stopped twice. And what put me in there was I was taking these pills that had a lot of caffeine, 325 milligrams of caffeine every day, and my heart said, "I've had enough of this." And if you're drinking those Bang Energies or what Monster, whatever, and they've got that much caffeine in them, and you're drinking 4 or 5 of those a day, you're asking for a trip to the hospital.
Oh, no, I drink maximum. I drink 2 a day.
Okay, but you're still asking for it. I was only doing 325 a day.
Oh, Oh, John Adams in the
He's
wall
it
again. He's going to
he's-
have to bring that truck to pit road. He's going to have to get that right side repaired. It's just going to... So once you do it once, you do it over and over and over again. And it's not because of a lack of talent or that's just where you are. It's you lose your focus. Your consistency goes away. I mean, think about it. You're turning left 240 times for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You need to be consistent. And once you get out of your consistency, well, then you go, I hit the wall once. I have to push twice as hard to catch up. And then you start pushing yourself more and more and more. And you make more and more mistakes. And you aggravate yourself more about the mistake you just made. And then you do it again. And then you aggravate yourself again. It's just a never-ending cycle once you do it once. So he's going to have to bring that truck to pit road here soon. Get as much of that right side damage as he can get fixed.
Yeah.
And
He's going to keep falling back.
He's just going to have to try to grasp at whatever he can throughout the remainder of the race.
Right now. So
he's not in terrible shape. He's definitely going to lose spots getting that damage repaired, but at the same time, he needs to do it sooner rather than later because he's running almost a second slower than everybody else right now.
Yeah.
And you can see he's backing up to the 33 of Ryan Howard, to the 22 of Hamish Gallagher, to the 32 of Richard Swaverly. I mean, these guys are coming, and it's because he's got that damage, and he's just not fast enough right now because of the damage.
Yep, he's going to be backing up, and he's about ready to lose those spots right now.
We got a visitor in the booth here.
He's got a booth manager. That's my manager in here
This
right
is
now.
my manager,
dog.
Gabby. She's fluffy and she likes pets. Get her right behind the ears. She'll never leave you alone. John Adams is going to get passed by Ryan Howard here on the exit of 2. Hamish Gallagher in that X-side, well, the Taylor Swift X-side looking machine. He's actually going to give the 11 a bump down here into 3 and 4 and try to get him moving a little bit. The 11's up really high right now. Going to have to keep an eye on that, maybe not make that mistake. And here comes the 22. He's going to dive to the inside. They're going to get all down in there. The 22, the 33, and the 32 are all going to get single file drafting. And into 1, he's going to get passed by the 33. On the exit of 2, he's going to get slide jobbed by the 22. I think it's slide job by the 33. He had to get on the brakes. The 11 almost went around. The 32 up the trumpet now. The 22 goes past. Ryan Howard tried to make the slide job work, and he almost got turned. If John Adams didn't get off the throttle there, it was going to be all over, but the crying.
Yeah, Hamish Gallagher had to put the afterglow together.
Oh, yeah, Hamish Gallagher had to go. I'm going to just turn left and hope he doesn't come down.
Because he definitely didn't want to go back to December on that one, for sure.
No, gosh, no. And the 22, the 32 side. Oh, the 11's going to go around.
Oh.
John Adams, big loose in the exit of 2.
Oh, my gosh.
And here comes Richard Beasley in the 10. John Adams' night has gone from bad to worse because now, with that right side damage as his tires go away, this truck is going to naturally get looser and looser and looser as the run goes along, as the tires wear now.
Yeah.
You're going to have less of a surface on the tire touching the ground.
Folks, this is why you don't text and drive.
That's part of it. But now that he's been on the wall and he's hurt the aerodynamics of that truck, you're seeing he's going to have to counteract it by wheeling it. And I can guarantee you, Richard Beasley in the 10 is dealing with the same thing. The truck is loose. But he's got all those aerodynamics in the right front that aren't disturbed. All that tail isn't disturbed. Oh, man, John Adams is just wheeling it.
While we've been watching this, there's something.
Yeah, Daniel Faulkingham is in second.
Yeah, and what happened to the 58?
The 58 has pitted.
He's a lap down, yeah.
The
so he
58
had to
has
pit.
pitted.
Okay, so a little
Pedro
sooner
Mojica
than I
has
was
pitted.
thinking.
That should be the final pit stop of the race for him.
But a
But-
little early, I think.
John Adams, just look at this. Just look at this. This is impressive on what he has to do around this racetrack. It's unfortunate, but dang, is it impressive. It's like watching a car crash. You can't stop watching because he's just...
The bad thing is he can't get it fixed because he'll lose too many spots.
Yeah, he's controlling it so well, but it's impressive because every time he exits a corner, he's not straight like everybody else. He's half sideways.
Yeah.
He's driving on the exit of the corner cockeyed while everybody else is straight. But look at him in the center of the corner. The back end wants to come around because there's no downforce. And on the exit of the corner, the rest of it does come around.
What does Tyler Dalton see? I mean, what does he see in front of him? I mean,
let's take a
does
look.
he see a truck going straight, or does he see a truck that is sideways?
Well, he sees Troy Eidson, who's a lap down because of a mistake earlier. But, I mean, you can just see what he sees. You see the 11 is just out of control. Because you can see it whenever Trey goes down a little bit.
Yeah.
And you can just see the 11 in the middle of the corner just absolutely on the ragged edge because there's no downforce in the back of the truck. Let's take a look on Trey Eidson, see what Trey sees right in front of him. He's got some right front damage, too. He's been on the wall tonight.
That's for sure. He was trying to make up some spots.
He is. He's currently back in the lead lap. He's in 18th. He's going to need a caution to stay there. But you can see all he sees is look at how sideways the 11 is.
Oh, my gosh.
That's big sideways in the center of the corner. I mean, he's not even – it's just over-rotating. Just a lot of damage. Just over-rotation. That's all it is.
He's more dirt track driving than anything right now.
You can really see it now that he's up the back end of him. He's big-time sideways, and it's hurting him.
Gosh.
I'm going to keep an eye on this because now that Trey's going to go to the outside, I want to see what happens because it's going to disturb the air now. There's a truck behind him. It's going to disturb it even more than it has been with the damage. And I bet you on the exit of the corner it's going to step out on him. It didn't yet. If he gets to the inside of him this time, this could cause problems for the 11. It's going to disturb the air, and now he's going to worry about the truck doing the slide job. And he's got another truck on the inside. Now he's starting to worry about all that. It's going to get intense for the 11. Very intense.
It looks like he's trying to use the 7 to
trying to get as much draft as he can.
Yeah.
He's trying to get as little disturbance of the big disturbance there. You see the back end come around. Yeah, that poor 11. He's just going to struggle around the racetrack for the next 44 laps. Daniel Faulkingham still is not pitted. Neither is Derek Myers, Brian Macklin, E.J. O'Rourke, Richard Beasley, and Richard Swaverly, John Adams, Tyler Dalton, Chad Coleman, and Glenn Campbell. Your top 10? I lied. Glenn Campbell just pulled into pit road. Your top 9 have not pitted. Your top 8 have not pitted.
Oh, boy.
Now it's your top 8. It was your top 9. Here comes the 81. He's a lap down truck at the moment, but Josh Parker will be the first truck to get his lap back. He'll actually be the leader, I think. Or maybe it'll be Bentley Glazier. Hold on. I'm wrong. I'm really wrong.
Fuller says he's out.
I'm big wrong. It's Pedro. It's just, ignore the scoreboard for a minute.
I was going to say, I see Macklin's out.
His scoreboard is having a moment. Just give that thing a minute.
I'm like, what? What's going on?
We're just going to get rid of that for a second. It's not correctly reading anything at this second. Give us 2 seconds here, folks. We're just going to go ahead and restart our scoreboard.
Yeah, actually, Richard Beasley is actually the one that is out right now. Joel Livingston is second. Pedro Mejica is third. Stoney Bettenfield runs fourth. Jose Gonzalez is fifth. Bentley Glazer is sixth. Josh Parker is seventh. Eighth is Doy Woods. And ninth is Ryan Howard and Trey Edson.
Let that sound be a warning to all mosquitoes.
Yes.
Don't come in my house. All right. That should be updated correctly. The 51, here he comes down pit road. Did Justin Fuller get in there? He's almost spinning in the entry to pit lane. Holy Justin Fuller. His final pit stop of the evening just almost went really bad.
Almost went bad to him, and Faulkingham is right there with him
Daniel Faulkingham is right there. Let's keep an eye on that. Let's see what type of pit stop Daniel Faulkingham gets.
It's a 10.3.
Okay, no, it's a 16.4.
Ooh, that's slow for
Justin
him.
Fuller. Oh, Justin's not going to be any faster. Not at all. 14.7.
Get out.
14.7. So almost 2 seconds faster than Daniel Faulkingham.
Hey, look who's leading the race right now.
John Adams is currently your leader. Here he comes down pit road. And almost
Sideways.
Sideways in the entry. I mean, we've seen it all night. A lot of people are gonna lose it there. But here is your new leader, Pedro Mojica. Started
Who
fifth.
pitted way back about 5 laps ago.
He pitted what, about lap 85, 86? No, 82.
Yeah.
82-ish, I think.
82. So 10 laps ago.
So 10 laps ago, he's got a 10-second lead on Stony Benfield. We're going to let everything sort itself out.
And then we'll figure out who.
Then we'll make our picks. Then we'll make our picks, because I don't think...
I already know who my pick is.
Who's your pick?
Daniel Faulkingham.
I don't think he's not my pick. He's in 7th. My pick tonight is actually Justin Fuller.
All right.
Yeah, Justin Fuller is my pick, and it's because of when he pitted. Yeah, the ticker is having...
Yeah, the ticker is on drugs. Folks, don't do drugs. They're not good for you. As you can see what's happening in this corner.
What is happening here? Are we good now? Are we in order? No, we're not. Okay.
No, we're still trying to.
We're not. It's okay. Here, the top 5. I can see the top 5 is correct. So there you go. There you go. The top 5. That's what you get for now. We're gonna try to fix that, but.
Ever since I went to the Evelyn Woodhead sped ridden course, my ridden and comprehension has improved 100%.
Okay, Tomater, calm down.
All right, Brian Macklin, according to... No, that's wrong. Yeah, mine is wrong, too. Hold on. Mine's on drugs. No, Pedro is... It's Pedro, Justin, Josh, Bentley, and...
Turn that off for a second, folks. 26 laps to go. We'll do this the old-fashioned way for you. We'll give you, 1995 Daytona 500 call of where everybody is in the racetrack, because right now...
1995, Papyrus Racing.
This is Papyrus. Thank you for playing NASCAR Racing 2. No, NASCAR Racing.
NASCAR Racing.
Yeah, it would have been the original.
Yeah,
Jeez, that makes me feel old.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you.
You know what makes me feel old? The fact that I've played NR 2003, and I've played thousands of hours of it. That makes me feel old.
Hey, man, I raced on the original Hawaii.
Oh, my goodness. You know what makes me feel really old? You know what makes me actually miss the old days of NASCAR games?
What, dial-up?
No. NASCAR 2001. I remember when I used to pit, when I was doing races, it would call out my driver by name, give me an update on how the day was going when I pitted, and say how many laps where I've started, give me like a rundown of the top 5. Like nowadays, it doesn't give you anything. You don't get nothing. Billion-dollar industry, we don't get nothing.
No. No, definitely not. It's definitely not the way it used to be, for sure.
I think this thing has kind of fixed itself.
Kind of?
No, it hasn't.
Well, by the way, Justin Fuller is catching.
He is. By a bunch.
6 seconds behind. He was just 9 seconds behind. Josh Parker is 3 seconds behind him. I don't know how it's in the heck.
You know, we haven't used it a long time, Randy.
No, a commercial?
We haven't used this. Oh, why is that? That's freaking out.
Hope it does a body good.
What is happening? There we go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. He's definitely gaining on him. There's no doubt about it. Now
Oh,
he's
yeah,
on
no, it's about a
4th
second a
and
lap.
9. Yeah.
A little bit over a second a lap, actually. It's quite impressive.
Well, his tires are a lot newer, too, so.
They are. They definitely are.
Trey Eidson trying to get a lap back.
I actually want to go look at the comments on our Facebook post. Because I want to see how many people think I'm an idiot for saying that Dale Earnhardt or Jimmy Johnson are better than Richard Petty.
I will tell you, back when I was in radio, when I was a sportscaster, I actually got to vote on NASCAR's top 50 drivers of all time.
And you said Richard Petty was number 1, huh?
No, I did not.
No? Dale Earnhardt?
Nope. I said Bobby Allison.
Okay. Okay. Fair point. Fair point.
If Allison had not been injured in that major wreck
I'm
that
not
he
going
was
to
in.
disagree with you either.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to disagree with you.
So Richard was not my number 1 pick. Richard actually was my 3rd pick. I had Bobby Allison, David Pearson. Then I had Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon 5th.
How long ago was this?
2000.
Okay.
And I did that for probably 2 or 3 years. I was asked every year.
Yeah,
Which I was shocked when they sent that to me. I'm like,
The ticker
me?
is freaking out.
Yeah, the ticker is having a little problem there. 18 laps to go. 1 second separates first from second. Pedro Majica out front. Fuller is second. Justin Fuller is running down the leader as the laps wind down here at Kansas Motor Speedway. And if you can see
That
in the
51
back
is
of
getting
them,
way bigger.
yeah, that 51 is coming quick. Daniel Faulkingham is about 4 seconds behind Justin Fuller, roughly. I don't see that he's gaining anything. Well, he's gaining. Actually, he is gaining.
Oh, here comes the 58. The 51. Here he comes, Justin Fuller.
51 is faster than 58.
Big run on the
Selfish.
exit of 4 here. Here comes the 51. Justin Fuller is going to make the pass. And Justin Fuller is your new leader here at Kansas Motor Speedway.
Can he hold on until the very end of the race? That is the big question right now.
Well, 15 to go.
Yeah, 15 to go. Can he hold on for 15 more laps? Is Mojica going to get another run to come back around him? Right now, it does not look like at all because how fast he is. Is Daniel Faulkingham going to catch them both? That's the other question. 15 laps to go. I don't think he can make up 5 seconds.
He could take second. I
He
think
could
there's a
take
possibility he could take
I think there's a
second.
good possibility he'll get second, but I don't know if he'll ever catch Fuller. Although I said he would probably win this race. You pick Fuller.
Well, you know who has the second most wins of all time in the Wednesday Night Truck Series?
Fuller.
Justin Fuller with 20.
Yeah.
Looking for number 21 here tonight. And if he gets number 21 here tonight, not only will it be win number 21 for him in on Wednesdays, it will be... What in the world did I just
Mr. Bojangles?
It will be, in total, career win number 62.
Wow. That's a lot of wins.
It is a lot of wins, but when you compare it to Daniel Faulkingham,
Well, yeah, Mr. 200 or so.
this dude is ridiculous, man. We were here for him when he won his 100th race. He's at 120. We haven't been around that long with Sim500, and this dude is at 120.
Insane. That's just insane. It really is. He's
That
actually
doesn't-
losing ground to Fuller now.
It doesn't hurt that he's absolutely dominated the Xfinity Series.
Yeah, he did dominate.
The
that.
Sunday Xfinity Series. He's
Oh, okay.
dominating it.
He's
Absolute
dominating that.
domination. He has won 8 out of the 11 races, 6 out of the 11 poles, and has led 836 of the 1,336 laps he's completed. He's insane.
I want to know how he stands up in the Road to Pro right now. I would love to see how he's doing in that.
Well, we can ask him if he can hold on to third.
Yeah, that's true.
And speaking of that, we'll look at Derek Myers here. See what Derek can see out of his hood. You can see Daniel Faulkingham just up there. 2 trucks between them, both lap down in between him and Daniel. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him.
No, I don't think so. It's kind of become a standstill right now. I'm not so sure he's going to actually be able to catch
I
Pedro.
don't think he's going to catch Pedro Mojica. I don't think he's going to. The lap times have evened out. There's only 0.2 of a lap between them now. There's only 9 to go. He's got about 3 seconds to get to him, or 2 seconds. If he gets there, it'll be with like a lap and a half to go, and it'll be a really, really close battle. He's got 4 seconds between him and Pedro at the moment. I just don't think he's going to get there.
I don't think so either.
He's actually losing time to Derek Myers now.
Yeah, I see that.
Let's throw
And
this
Derek
battle
Myers,
up here.
Derek Myers may end up having a good battle here for third.
Derek is catching him.
Eight laps remain here at Kansas Motor Speedway, the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series race on the Ghostfire Media Network. Good to be back with you folks, for sure. Yeah, he's definitely catching him. He's coming.
It's quite interesting to see.
This is the best battle. We're trying to
It
watch
really
this
is.
battle. This is why we're watching this, folks.
And don't forget, we
Fuller
have
is
Brian
just
Macklin.
on autopilot.
You look right behind Brian. Derek here. You have Brian Macklin. Can you get a good visual of him? Right there in the Navy machine, right behind him. So this could quickly become a 3-way battle for third here. Let's actually.
They still got a little ways to go. I mean, they've.
It's not. They're not super far from each other. 2.5 seconds between the 3 of them right now, and Brian.
But they
Macklin
do
is
have a lap car in between, 2 lap cars in front of them, too.
That also doesn't help.
Lap trucks. I said cars. These are trucks.
Yeah, same difference.
I don't know. I remember when I was going to go work for MRN, they were like, you can't say car. I was like, oops.
We don't work for MRN.
We don't.
Derek Myers is coming. He's to the inside of one of those lappers right now. Oh, sorry, that was the 14 of Joey Gattina. I apologize. But Derek is coming.
He's coming.
He might run out of time, though. I think he's going to run out of time.
I think so, too. I just don't think there's enough time. He's got a second and a half back behind him. And he's got to
got
get
the
around
lappers,
both.
and he's going to go to the outside. This is an interesting choice. Joey Gattina is putting up a big fight against the lead lap car. He actually pushes the 23 up out of the groove.
Macklin back there is probably going, yes.
Derek Myers cannot be happy about that. Joey Gattina, I understand, is fighting for a position there, but
He's also the admin, so.
that's true. But I don't think Brian France would Actually, Brian France might have turned.
Well,
somebody.
actually, if you look at that, Joe Cattina is Brian France. So let's take it that way. So yeah.
Without the that was wait, which one was without all the drugs?
That was Brian. Yeah, it was Brian.
Without all the drugs, Joey's a good dude.
And the hookers.
Okay. Is it just once a broadcast when you're around we have to mention ladies of the night? Is that just how this works now?
We've already talked about upside down pineapples and wieners.
Oh my God.
All right, 2 laps to go. Fuller is out front by 3.8 seconds right now, trying to win his first race of the season in the Transervice Truck Series. One more lap around. Final lap around the Kansas Motor Speedway for Mr. Fuller, the Bojangles. Bojangles. What's he got? Cherry wine on the front too?
Yeah.
Cherry wine and Bojangles. Trying to bring the chicken on home.
Well,
he's going to make it hot for the first time.
He is. For the 62nd time in his career, the 21st time in the Truck Series, and the first time in 2022, Justin Fuller will exit turn 4 and take the checkered flag here at Kansas Motor Speedway. Pedro Mojica will come home second. Daniel Faulkingham will hold on for third. Derek Myers in fourth. Brian Macklin will outlast Josh Parker, who goes through the grass on the exit of 4 for fifth.
That's a way to finish for sure.
That is. At least he didn't Clint Boyer himself.
Yeah.
Upside down and on fire. Great win here for Justin Fuller. Just dominance after that final pit stop. He was consistent all night. Qualified in the pole. We thought he was going to be fast. He's up there battling hard all evening. And now that number 51 machine gets to burn it down here at Kansas.
I want to find out that Justin Fuller is actually a cook at Bojangles. Makes the pizza.
So far this
break,
year,
he drinks a lot of cherry wine.
So far this year, Toyota has won 2 races, Chevy has won 2 races, and now with Justin Fuller winning a race tonight, him and Hamish Gallagher have brought home 2 wins for the Ford teams. So through 6 races so far this season in the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series, there is not a dominant manufacturer yet. There is not a dominant driver. It has been 6 different types of races with 6 different types of outcomes. I'll tell you what, Randy, I can't wait for the rest of this season.
Yeah, we're going to have some great racing the whole season. No doubt about it, because we've seen a lot of different winners, a lot of different trucks winning. So, yeah, we thought we were actually going to see this guy here in the 39 maybe dominate this whole thing, but no, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. We're going to pull Mr. Faulkingham in here, actually. Where is he?
Where is he?
There it is. Daniel, you got Nick and Randy in the booth. You got a copy.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Oh, a different type of night for you. You didn't get a qualifying lap in. You started back in 29th. You ended up finishing 3rd, so you made 26 spots up tonight. So first off, congratulations on being the mover and shaker of the race. It's impressive.
Yeah, I don't know how much time you guys got. I got a long story. So as the thing goes from transitioning from practice to queue, my qualifying button never shows up, and apparently my quality is dropping. So I had to leave the server, and I was going to try to come back. But the problem is, once I dropped, my game was glitched. So I tried to rejoin the server, but I couldn't. It was not letting me. So I had to reset my entire computer. So I had to redo that, come back in, and then, for whatever reason, I had no sound. So I'm actually talking off my phone right now. So I did that entire race with 0 sound. No sound whatsoever. Couldn't hear chat, couldn't hear the engine, couldn't hear my tires, sliding. All I had was, the feel in the wheel and the feel in the pedals. And that's all I had. We still somehow drove through almost the entire field. So, nonetheless, I'll take that. That's probably a victory in itself. But, man, nothing went right for me tonight. Also, my pedals cut out when I was going off pit road that last time. My pedals cut out for 2 seconds. So I literally lost another 2 seconds. I probably could have caught Pedro if I didn't have all these issues. But I had a wild night, that's for sure. And we still came on P3. So, like I said, that's probably a victory in itself. And more we got some good points still. So we'll take it.
Unbelievable.
I don't even have any words for that.
I don't either. I was like, I've had that happen to me also, and it's definitely no fun to drive with no sound because you can't hear the tires slipping or anything. So from going 29th to 3rd, unreal, dude. I can't say anything. All I can say, I told Nick earlier, talking to you sounds a lot like Noah Grayson.
Oh, really?
Yes. If you listen to Noah, he sounds a lot like you.
Huh.
So
Well,
when I see Noah
good.
next week, I'm going to say, Noah, you sound like a lot like Daniel Faulkingham.
Oh boy.
That's definitely interesting, but I mean, heck, I don't know. I feel like I was driving like Noah Gregson tonight, just going 100% each and every lap, trying to get through the field.
No, you weren't driving like Noah Gregson. You didn't wreck 4 people to get to 3rd. You're fine.
Oh, come on! Don't ditch Noah like that.
Oh, I mean, listen, you didn't pay for your ride. We're not going to go down that road because I
Wait a
like
minute.
Noah as a
No,
human
no,
being.
no.
Listen, that's a podcast story, Randy. I like Noah.
Yeah,
as a human
we'll
being.
go on that one.
I don't like him as a driver.
Yeah, he doesn't like him. So I like him. I got no problem with the kid. I actually know his old girlfriend. So.
Oh,
So, anyways, Daniel, awesome job tonight, getting 3rd. Hopefully next week you have no issues whatsoever, and we'll see you then.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. I got to thank my PC for absolutely crapping the bed on me tonight for absolutely no reason. I also got to thank January 31st, first everybody left to 7 for all their support. I got to thank you guys for on the broadcast. I thank everyone at Sim500 runs the show. I got to thank Transervice for all they do for the series. Thanks to everyone who races each and every week, admins, and everybody. Everyone at Team Name, Chad, Pedro, Beasley, John Adams, Kevin, Josh, all those guys. I got to thank everyone at North Force Racing, Presley Gilson, the whole crew over there, all my teammates over there. Got a big race coming up for Road to Pro next Thursday night. So final race of round 1, but thankfully we're already locked in round 2. So that's good, but try to focus get the rest of my teammates in round 2. But yeah, so thanks everyone at North Force Racing. Thanks to SRD Setup, Sim Racing Development as well. Thanks to all the fans who watch each and every week. Thanks to Cosme who paints up my truck each and every week. And thanks to friends and family for all their support as well.
All right.
Well, thank you, Dan. You have a fantastic week, and maybe we'll talk to you next week again.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, fellas.
See ya.
All right, and for the first time this year, I think this might be the first time we've seen him all year, Pedro Mojica, welcome to the Ghostfire Media booth. You got me, Nick Adams, and Randy Pepper up here. How you doing?
Oh, good. I appreciate you guys having me, man. I'm glad. Hopefully we put on a good show for you guys.
Yeah, no, not a problem, my good sir. First off, heck of a battle there tonight. I really thought you were going to be able to hold on to that one, but I think the tire difference was really just the nail in the coffin there. Was that the issue?
Yeah, I was hoping maybe tires, if I could get far enough out that maybe by the time Justin would get to me that he would have wore his stuff out, but the lap difference was just too much, and he still had a half a second to 0.6 of a second advantage over me by the time he got to me. So, but at that point of the race, I figured do something different, try to win the race. There in the first run, I had the track position, I was out in front. I think I burned my stuff a little bit more than Justin did, and he got back by me. And I couldn't really, I stayed about 6 to 7 tenths behind him, but, I couldn't really do much. And then the first pit stop, I pitted 2 laps sooner than he did, and then he got me a little bit more the second run. So, at that point, I was like, well, I got to go real extreme here because at this point, I'm not going to win the race if I do the same thing he does. So, yeah, we tried something there. Still ended up getting second, so not bad. It's where we ran most of the race, so not too bad.
No, it's a podium, so that's good.
It is. Second place is always great, but honestly, they say second place is the first loser, but you're only the first loser if you don't try to win. If you just settle in there and say, I'll take second place, and you have no problem with it, well, then you're the first loser. But tonight, you tried something out of the box. Not a lot of people would have tried. So you pitting early, putting all that on the line there. You did what you had to do.
Yeah, no, for sure. I had to try to put a little pressure on Justin just to, like I said, maybe lure him into wearing his stuff out a little bit more than the previous runs and maybe be able to hold them off with the dirty air. But again, Justin did a great job in this race. He does a good job saving tires. He did a good job saving tires in this race. So it was a little too much for us, but hey, that's okay. Like I said, we were there. Everybody knew we were here especially for my first race in this series, so that's cool. I'm glad to have a solid run.
You know what we got to do for you? We got to get you a paint. We got to get you a sponsor here.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sale on the hood of the 58 next week.
Yeah. We might have something on there next week. We'll see.
Well,
I have to put Guitar Attic on there.
We'll put Guitar Attic and Ghostfire Media. Reach out to us. We'll get something on the hood.
All right.
All right. Well, Pedro, you have anybody you want to thank?
You guys for putting on the broadcast. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to do this and put this show on for the fans. Hopefully we put a good show for you guys on. Everybody who runs the series, Sim500, all the admins, appreciate the BS they put up with, but letting us race and do our thing. So appreciate them for what they do. Transervice for sponsoring the series. Appreciate them for doing that and putting this series on. It's a lot of fun. My first race. I've seen a couple races on the broadcast and it's a good series. So glad that Transervice is sponsoring it. And then everybody on Team Name, Chad Coleman, Daniel, Doy, Richard Beasley, Kevin DeBrown, Josh Parker, John Adams. There's a bunch of us on there, but we have a lot of fun racing against each other. But we race each other hard and push each other to the limit. But it makes it a lot of fun.
Well, good job tonight, man. Congratulations on a second place, and we'll see you next week.
All right, I appreciate it, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, and last but certainly not least, the winner. First time here in 2022, 62nd time in his career with Sim500, and his 21st career win on Wednesday nights in the Truck Series, Justin Fuller. Justin, you got Nick and Randy in the booth, and how about that for an intro?
Yeah, it was a good one.
Okay, Justin, you got to tell me something real quick. You got Bojangles on the truck. Do you work at Bojangles?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, you do?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. Okay. Darn it. And I was hoping you were gonna give us some free chicken.
No. No.
Oh well. Good job tonight, man. Awesome race tonight. How concerned were you when Pedro was out 10 seconds in front of you after he came off of pit road? Were you worried that you were gonna be able to run him down?
I was worried enough that it was actually 12 seconds, not 10.
Okay.
I took note of it, and I was a little worried for sure, because I know that sooner or later the tires were gonna like level out a lot more. But luckily I was able to work my way through the traffic pretty good, and just keep running my same line and pace, and I was able to get there.
Nick?
Well, I don't really have much to say. You absolutely you came on here tonight and it was a statement. It was a statement of the second half of the race for sure, and it was very impressive to watch. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
I thank Sim500 and all the admins, Joey Gattina, for what they do, for putting this on. Thanks to Glenn Campbell and Transervice for sponsoring this series. Thanks to you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thanks to everybody that watched. Thanks to all my teammates at Aftermath Motorsports that ran tonight. Special thanks to Trey Edson for keeping me out here looking really good with my truck, cars, and everything on iRacing. Funny part about this scheme is he made this scheme for me, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years ago on a Toyota Tundra, and I had terrible luck with it. So we trashed it and ran something different. And I said, you know what, let's bring it back out. It's such a good looking truck. I really liked it. Bojangles and Cheerwine on the hood. Two of my favorite things. And I'm from New York, and I can't even get either one of them. So, it's one of those things when I go on vacation, I make sure I hit up some Cheerwine and Bojangles and get that stuff. So, love this truck. It's absolutely beautiful. And I'm glad we put on a good race. That was a fun battle with Pedro. Even when we were on track battling, other than the strategy side of it, it was just a lot of fun. I'm glad that stayed green to the end.
Awesome job tonight, man. A lot of fun watching you drive the truck around the track, and good battles and entertaining for us to call the race. So congratulations on another win in the Sim 500 League, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, that's Charlotte. That'll be a good time, I guess. We'll see.
Thank you, Justin. Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
All right. So, really quickly, before we run down the finishing order here tonight, Randy, we talked about how much difference one bad night could make for Mike Kelly when it happened to him earlier tonight.
Yeah.
Before tonight's race, he was 74 points behind Daniel Faulkingham at the top of the standings, sitting in third. After the events of the evening, he now sits in fifth, 111 points behind Daniel Faulkingham. Being that far behind Daniel's not that big of a concern for him right now because the championship doesn't start until there's 12 for another 12 races.
Right.
The big concern is the top 16. Having that tough of a night, and then also for Mike Montesi, unfortunately getting caught up in that really hurts because Mike Montesi could have had a good night. He started really well tonight. He currently sits 47th in points because of that.
No.
Mike Kelly sits fifth, but he came in tonight with a 90-point buffer between him and 16th. It's now 60 points. He lost 30 points tonight because the person who sits in 16th now is Justin Fuller. Like I said, there's a 58-point maximum switch. Justin Fuller tonight hit those 58 maximum points. So, even with missing the first two, with race 2 and 3 at Vegas and Atlanta on the 6th and the 20th of April, Justin Fuller's now in the top 16. And Mike Kelly, who's been here all season, the last 2 races, has gotten a total of 26 points. So, unfortunately for Mike Kelly, that's going to, he's going to have to get that luck to turn around for him.
Yeah, and he's got into this rhythm now. He's had 2 terrible finishes in a row. Hopefully that's not the consistent thing to happen for the next few races.
Yeah, no, because he is extremely consistent in the Winter Series. We've seen it looking back at history that Mike Kelly is just a consistent driver. He doesn't have to win a million races to battle for titles. He's just consistent.
Right.
Unfortunately, though, it looks like the consistency has gone away from him at the moment. And he's gotten into this unlucky streak here the last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
but hopefully
rhythm
next
is not
week,
in his favor.
Hopefully next week at Charlotte, longest race of the season, with Randy Pepper in Charlotte, so I'm by myself for almost 400 miles.
Hey, you can blame the racing guy, Pat Patterson, for that one, bud.
I'm going to choke Pat Patterson. I'm going to come to Charlotte just to choke him.
Okay, I want to see that one. I want to see that. That would.
Anyway, why are the results not? No. Oh, there we go. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with his 21st career win in the Truck Series, 62nd career. Why is that not fixed?
Looks fine to me.
The Char-U diecast thing is still there. I got to change that logo. Justin Fuller with the win here tonight. Pedro Mojica in second. Daniel Faulkingham third. Derek Myers fourth. Brian Macklin comes home fifth. Josh Parker sixth. E.J. O'Rourke in seventh. Bentley Glazier in eighth. Doy Woods in ninth. Hamish Gallagher in 10th. A nice recovery for Hamish. He gained 21 spots tonight. Started 31st, finishes 10th. Yeah. Nice drive for Hamish. 11th going to be Richard Beasley. 12th, Tyler Dalton. 13th, Richard Swaverly. 14th, Ryan Howard. 15th, John Adams. Nice recovery for John, even though he probably wanted to be in the top 5, but with all that damage and everything else that went wrong, finishing 15th, fantastic finish for him. 16th, Chad Coleman. 17th, Charles Woods. 18th, Ron Holyfield. Back in 19th, going to be Joey Gattina. 20th, going to be Gerald Livingston. 21st, Doug Roth. 22nd, Stoney Benfield. 23rd, Glenn Campbell. 24th, Mike Marsk. 25th, Trey Eidson. 26th, James Sombach. 27th, Doug Sigmund. 28th, Mark Fravor. 29th, Jose Gonzalez. 30th, going to be Jeff Ryan. Back in 31st, 59 laps down, Kevin Brown. In 32nd, Scott Simley. 92 laps down. Bad night for the 2 and 12 tonight and those teammates there. Mike Kelly finishes 33rd. Mike Montesi, 34th. Those two drivers involved in an incident on lap number 1. Unfortunate, lap 2, but unfortunate for them. Unfortunate for the drivers who got caught up. Trey Eidson, very quick. Made a mistake on pit road. That costs him a lot of points here tonight. Drops him from just under 30 points behind Daniel Faulkingham to 56 behind Daniel. So the regular season championship lead grows for Daniel Faulkingham. And the regular season championship is important. It is important. Also, every driver that wins a race this year gets 3 bonus points into the playoffs. So right now, your bonus point drivers would be Trey Eidson, Daniel Faulkingham, Hamish Gallagher, and now Justin Fuller would all have bonus points. Trey and Daniel would have 6. Hamish and Justin would have 3. It doesn't seem like a big thing at the moment, but if they got into the playoffs, if they're able to point their way in, they're already going to be ahead of everybody else behind them. So it'll be an interesting thing to see how that goes. And next week, we go to Charlotte. 130 laps. Our longest event of the year. And I am excited. We're not going to have Randy Pepper, but we'll figure it out. We'll be fine, folks. You got me.
You'll figure it out. And, I wish I could say I would phone in and
we have the technology.
I could, but unfortunately, let's see. That's Wednesday night. I will be at the Beer Face Lab, I think it is, in Mooresville, North Carolina, that night. So
that's fine.
I think just make sure so I say these right. Ghostface Beer Lab in Mooresville. I will be there from 8 until 11.
Okay, all right. These free publicity. We're not giving them free publicity.
The people listening in North Carolina definitely come out and see us and meet the racing guy, Pat Patterson.
Speaking of North Carolina, we want to thank North Carolina 811, Transervice, Feg PC, and all of the other sponsors that help make Sim500 run each week, especially Transervice for sponsoring the Transervice Truck Series, helping bring Ghostfire Media on board, keeping this going every single week, and allowing these drivers to come out here and show off their talent. You know what? Since Randy's not going to be here next week, we'll let him say goodbye, folks. I appreciate you all.
Thanks for watching tonight's broadcast on the Ghostfire Media Network of the Sim500 Transervice Truck Series. Folks, I'm so happy you watched tonight. On behalf of Nick Adams and myself, we will see you next week, or I will not see you next week, but Nick Adams will see you for 130 laps around the Charlotte Motor Speedway. You're going to love his broadcast, at least half of it. But I'm telling you, it's going to be a great race, so don't forget to tune in for next week's Sim500 Transervice Truck Series race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And I'll see you from the Charlotte Motor Speedway next week. Have a good one. I'm Randy Pepper. So long from the Sunshine State.
Thank you for watching iRacing on the Ghostfire Media Network.